should have titled today's show like Super Hater, because never, ever, ever in any of my events have I like had text and reach outs like all the way up to the beginning of the show. So that just tells me that there is a blessing on this young man's life, because the texts were it was hate. It was hate and people trying to hold him back. So that just, that just made me, like him more, because his success is evident. So here we go. Without further ado,
it's feed.
Arron.
Yo.
Are you? Wait a minute. Are you running the gamut over there? You being a director too?
Yeah. I'm talking to my baby girl. I thought she had her headphones, and I told her it was a little feedback, but she should be good. I don't think I hear it now, so she should be good. You good? You can sit back. You can sit back where you were. It's a better setting. The lighting is better. Plus, that's my BR. I don't want that all on. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, you trying to parent, organize your show and everything. All right.
Look, that's amazing, right? I just heard what you said, and I was like, wow, that's what happens, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand what it's like, to already to grow up and be, disenfranchised, less fortunate. And then when you have situations like this to where you're trying to you're trying to do better and provide for your family and do positive things, and you work hard. There were times I worked 2 or 3 jobs, 24 hours a day. And, my kids will be able to tell you that once they get on, like, I would be gone literally 24 hours from one hospital to the next hospital, just working my ass off. You know what I mean? Just trying to do the things that I needed to do to get to this position. But it's okay though. You know what I mean? Because where there's hate, there's ascension. And so, the fact that
we got to pump our brakes, because I'm not going to act like I know why people hate you so much, but I am going to tell you what I believe it is that you make them think about what they should have been doing and what they could have been doing. That's what it feels like to me. That's what it feels like to me. Basically, I'm going to give a quick rundown for people who haven't watched your first episode. Basically, it's like this. You had a very tough childhood. You were always a go-getter. You started selling drugs when you were very young. You decided, I don't want to do this. You got 2 jobs, in like fast food place, yada, yada, yada. You almost died getting hit going across the bridge. And you was like, heck, if I'm going to die, might as well be in the streets. And you went back to selling. You went back to selling drugs and actually created. Yes. You went back to selling drugs. And there was you created some legitimate businesses as well.
Alcohol and marijuana are drugs too. And, you can go in a liquor store and get some alcohol if you like, and marijuana, they're decriminalizing it. So, it's more or less what's the social norms and what's not the social norm. It has nothing to do with integrity. It has nothing to do with what it is that you're trying to do to feed your family. It all has to do with, can we socialize it? Can we normalize it? Can we tax it? So a lot of people get dealing confused with, when we talk about dealing drugs, you always think about the street guy. You got doctors out here that are overprescribing medication. You got, all of these things that are going on. And I'm not saying any of that is right, but what I'm saying is, as a child, when you're a child and you figuring out life, and with the young mind that's not fully developed, where your frontal lobes ain't fully developed until you're 27, 28 years old. I had to learn this later in life. And that also helped me to understand me. So when you talk about a child and, their ability to think rationally, or their ability to make the type of decisions that best fit them, it's survival of the fittest, and we're working with an underdeveloped brain. And so as time goes on, you know, that's when cognitive dissonance kicks in, because it's like, all right, well, at this point in time, I'm kind of knowing this wrong, but I'm already knee deep in, and it's right now it's helping. So is it really wrong? Because in low social status neighborhoods and low socioeconomic status places, you know, dysfunction becomes function. And so we don't understand that we're dysfunctioning. You know what I mean? You don't understand that. And you know, and it's funny that when you get someone who's made it through, because I'm not supposed to be here, right? I'm not supposed to be here dropping all these jewels on people, because I should have been dead a long time ago. I should have been locked up in prison for a long time, but you know, God saw fit for me to do different. And so when you get to a point like this that you never thought you'd be at, and you start being attacked by people who spread false information on you, or who just got these opinions that, you know, stating their opinions because they're not facts, then you have to understand how not to give that life, how not to give that energy. Because if I touch that with all of this positive energy, it's going to bring their negativity and hate to life. So I don't want to do that. It's unfortunate that people don't experience ascension. They don't experience transition. They don't experience hardships, because that's what gets you past all of those levels to a point right now to where when people got something to say, they're only talking out the side of their neck. And it bothers me not. It bothers me not, you know. Unmute, Coach Love. Unmute. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I got you. Thank you so much. I was just going to say, it felt like it was just so unusual, because normally I get in my box, you know, oh, I'm excited for the show, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But this stuff was targeted at you.
Right,
and
right.
It was
it's personal. It's whoever it is. I don't care. But this is unusual. The things I'm doing with my life is unusual. So unusual positive. The things I'm doing with my life is unusual. So unusual positive energy is going to attract unusual negative energy. But you know what I'm saying? We got a force field around us, man. And, you know, and we ain't worried about none of that stuff, you know?
We're really not. We're really not. And when I first started noticing that blowback in, you told me that you noticed some blowback too, right?
Well, yeah, you know, I just kind of, you know, stroll through the comment page, but you know, like I said, I pay it no mind, because whoever it is, you know, I don't know, and I don't care, you know, because the thing is, they're not able to experience the ascension with me, and that's probably the problem. You know what I mean?
Which is 100% fine. It is 100% fine. This is what I'm going to say. Instead, y'all made me like him more, because if he had to wade through all of y'all and still get it, you just made me like his drive more. So keep it coming.
That's my story. That's my story. That's how that's my life, though. You know what I mean? Like it's familiar territory. It's been obstacle after obstacle, and you know, and right now, like it's become, like I said, it's become the norm. So things that I have to maneuver through, to the average person, it looks different and difficult. But to me, I've been equipped with the tools throughout my life to deal with certain things. And I've been able to pay attention to the signs, and I've been able to just get myself together. How dare someone, like seriously, how dare someone try to put a dark cloud over my hard work? Here I am, a black man in America, a felon at that, not a criminal, a felon at that. Because people, if that's the case, criminals, you know, criminals are around us all the time. They just never get caught. And some we know that they're criminals, but they won't ever make it to a courtroom or get prosecuted. But how dare anyone who, when this story is built around, I'm not hiding who I am, this transparency at its best, try to take away what I worked for. You know, this ain't no bubblegum type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I didn't get these degrees out of a Cracker Jack box. I ain't pay anybody to do my homework. You know, I've been busting my ass for the last 10 years straight. Busting my ass, working 2 or 3 jobs, going to school, taking care of kids, you know, building a foundation that after I'm gone, a legacy that they can be proud of. Because what happens is when you get locked up, and I pay my debt to society. So whoever, you know, feels like, I shouldn't be here. Shame on you. Because when I went in front of that judge and he told me how much I had to pay, I wrote a check. And you better believe they cashed that. They cashed it. And once they cashed it, my money was good. Leave me alone. My debt is paid. I'm clear.
Only thing I can say is maybe they can learn something about watching you, but you got to force around you. You got to force around you.
Oh, absolutely.
Bring them up. Bring your team up one at a time. Who we pulling up first?
My baby girl. We're gonna start with the baby. We're gonna go bottom up. My baby girl. You talking about somebody who's resilient? This is Ariana. Somebody who's resilient. Does excellent in school. She's been in basketball, her whole life. She's a very productive young woman, beautiful, and we send encouraging words to each other every day. She's the love of my life, actually. You know what I mean? And without further ado, here's
I would
the
love
baby.
to bring her up, but I think she got her camera off. So, wait a minute, she just turned it back on. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey y'all.
Hi, how you doing, Miss Ariana?
Good. How are you?
That is fine. Ariana, who are you going to bring up? Who you want to shout out? Which one of your siblings you want to bring up?
One person I want to shout out is my dad, because I done been there with him throughout the whole thing. I mean, I was brought into it during the thing, so I was growing up with it.
We got to fix your sound, baby girl. We got to fix your sound.
Go ahead.
We're going to bring up, look. You ready. Hi, sweetie. How you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
Where do you fall in the bunch?
Well, I am my dad's, finest one. No, I am my dad's third. I stay in Arizona. I go back and forth from Illinois to Arizona. We're a unit. We stay together. So. Yeah, this is kind of.
I was waiting to hear that word. Because I hear it constantly up with your people. Here you go.
Hello, Mom.
Hey, Diamond.
Hey. All right.
Hey.
My fighter.
How you doing?
Hey, y'all. I'm good. How are
All right. We're just gonna pull them up one at a time. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you fall in the bunch?
Well, I'm the oldest, of course. I'm the leader of the pack. Yeah.
Okay. How you doing? Look. She wasn't ready. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Mariah. I'm the third, but really the fourth.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. They are tickle pink. Tickle pink. Hold on. And we got Arron Jr.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
How y'all doing? I am the baby boy. Do you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, just making sure.
That's my actor right there. That's my son. He's at Eastern Illinois University. He's studying acting, film, directing. He actually has a nice little big time stage play coming up. He's been in a couple of short films.
All right.
Maybe one day he'll look as good as his old man. He looks tired right now because I know he be going kind of hard. And my baby Ranye, she tried to put me out there. That's her and Ariel. So Ariel said I'm technically the third, and then Aranya's like, well, I'm the third, maybe the fourth. So here's the story with them. They call themselves hood twins, right? Because I like that terminology, I guess, and I guess that terminology is they're 2-3 months apart. Ariel is May the 9th, and 1999, and then Ranye is July the 2nd, 1999. So
My birthday, July 2nd.
Hold up, man. I said July the 2nd. Didn't I come back and say July the 2nd? Now hold up. Now this ain't no easy task. Now I'm on. I know what I'm doing. Hold on, SA. I know what I'm doing. Y'all can. Everybody can unpause except for Peanut, because me and Peanut in the same room. So me and her are going to interchangeably mute ourselves whenever it's time to talk. Actually, I might just go into a different room. I thought she had her ear pods, but something went wrong. I think she said she lost them. So I might just go ahead and opt out for a different position so we can all be. Or yeah, you can go in there. That'll be good. And just close the door, sit in the chair. The lighting will be great. Yeah. So
I'm watching you direct this situation is funny to me. It's very interesting. But the reason why we brought everybody on, all the kids on, because a lot of men in your particular situation feel the need to leave their kids behind. And not
that's
only
unfortunate. We don't know nothing about that.
Right.
We don't know nothing about that through it all, through the time, through my look at that's my grandson right there, baby D. He want to be on TV so bad. What's up, fat boy? Yeah, who was that? Goizness, whoever that is. Yeah, these are my daughters. That's my grandson. These are all my children. And my oldest son, he's in the military, so he had duty. He said he'll be on in about 15 or 20 minutes. He had to finish his duty. He's on duty in El Paso right now. And yeah, these are all my babies, man. I got 4 different kids' moms. I said that in the beginning, in the front of my show, and we all grew up in the house together. They spent equal time with me and at their mom's house. And what are we?
A unit.
A unit. We're a unit. We're a unit all the way across the board, and that's what it is. So you're gonna have a lot of haters, and you're gonna have all of that. But let me tell you something: the time and effort that I put into everything. And my baby was about to say something when you first came on about the journey. What was you about to say, Peanut?
About what?
About the journey. You was like, I was my dad. I've been there the whole time.
I was saying, like, basically throughout the whole journey, throughout this whole process, I was kind of born into it. Since I'm the baby, everybody was there. Me and my older sister, we 10 years apart, so she was there a long time. My other siblings, so I'm the only one that's that was really born into it. So
and speak on what you're talking about. Born into what? You could be candid. Speak on what you're talking about.
Like throughout all the times, like when he had got locked up, it wasn't like I was really there. Like I was still like really young and little, so I didn't really know too much that was going on. And my mama didn't want to tell me because I'm still young. So it's just that.
So basically, you would be one of the best people to let us know what it felt like to be born into a entity, what the entity itself felt like. Your dad, he says that you're his heart, and I think that says a lot, because if the entity already existed and you were born into it, then you're like you're bringing up the anchor.
Yeah,
you're bringing up the anchor. So what is the unit actually like?
Well, at first, I forgot what my mom used to tell me what it was, but she didn't tell me he was in jail. She used to tell me he was on like a trip or something. So the prison he was at, it was in Texarkana. So we would drive down there, and I would hate the ride. Like I would hate it so bad. I'm not a huge fan of car rides. I'm not traveling. I'm better off in a plane than in a car. But when we would go there, I would see him and I see other people, and I just be like, "Mommy, why they all got the same stuff on?" She was like, "Oh, they in here working, like they working."
We was working.
So me being I just went along with like, okay, they in here working. So that was basically it. I didn't know really too much until he got out, because that's when everything, that's when I was starting to get a little older and my logic was coming more to me. And that's when it was just like, oh, okay, so this is what happened, this and that, and all that stuff. So, yeah.
You know what? They call you Peanut. What I like about your family is there's no excuses. There is no excuses. Y'all all work.
Or apologies. This is the path. This is the path, and everybody, y'all kick in, because they know their dad is a talker. I'm a philosopher. I'm very philosophical. And so there's always a lesson in everything. You know what I mean? From the times that, you know, they would see me. Are you on mute, Peanut? When I talk, mute yourself. So, you know, from the times where I came home and, you know, and they would see me, you know, busting my ass, you know, like going back and forth to school and not really having, you know, the means to do what it is I would love to do for them. They still loved me and understood me, and even when I didn't have anything to give them, you know, monetarily, you know, I always felt like I could drop some jewels on them that they could use later on in life. They're all amazing. Both of my daughters, Diamond and Arron, they're treatment specialists. You know, they work with foster care kids with behavior disorders. My son is in acting school. My baby girl, she's, you know, in high school. My oldest son is in the military, and my baby lady, little mama Ariel, you know, she's in Phoenix, and she's working right now, and she's always had her dreams on fashion. So, you know, I'm trying to get her to see how we do things, to let her know that this is a testament to whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is you want to put your mind to, do it, because we're all going to be there for each other. And we're all going to support each other. This ain't no gimmick. This ain't no trick. You know, my kids could tell you that I've been there since day one, no matter what, through it all. They've seen the struggle. They've seen the, you know, I would fly to Arizona before I left. You know, my daughter was with me. My daughter and Ariel was with me. You know, she moved to Arizona to be with her mom. And, you know, when I came home, she came back here. You know, I've made trips to see her. You know, we would all drive out there. We would all drive out to California. You know, we stop in Phoenix, pick my baby up, you know, and we would drive road trips, like just things that, you know, that matters the most, squeezing all that in. And so nobody has time for bullshit. Nobody has time for none of the hoopla when it comes to negativity and hate, because what we're doing right now is we're trying to rise above all of that. And you know, this is what I put my energy into. These 6 people right here, my son isn't on yet, but he's going to get on. But this is what I put my energy into, them and myself, and building my future, to let them know what resiliency looks like. They don't have an excuse. Who has an excuse? Raise your hand if you got an excuse.
Y'all better not raise your hand. Y'all might lose a finger.
No. We don't do that. We don't do that. I didn't even do no whoopings. I didn't even do whoopings growing up.
You know what?
They can't outsmart me. As a parent, you have to be patient. I'm not just quick to whoop ass. Like, no, like there's a lesson to be learned. There's a lesson.
You know what? I was just kind of joking, but I'm actually glad you brought that up. You did not whoop your kids.
No. I may have popped one of them one time in life. Ronnie, did I get you? Who did I get? Bad girl, did I get you? I got you. When I get you? Yeah, but we didn't. There were no whoopings. They could probably count on one finger the times that they probably did something. And I guarantee y'all, take yourself off mute. Y'all stay off mute. Y'all don't have to be on mute. Stay off of mute. Everybody stay off of mute. Stay off of mute.
I remember.
So teaching someone a lesson by maybe, you know, scolding them, you know, popping their butt or something like that, or popping in. But, you know, I wasn't the type that, like, you're gonna get a whooping. You're gonna get a whooping. You're gonna get a whooping. There's no lesson in that. There's no patience in that. You know, it has to be a lesson involved. And there are so many jewels that I wanted to make sure that I dropped on them, you know, growing up, that I didn't want that to be overshadowed by an ass whooping. I didn't want to be the father to be scared of or to be feared, because, you know, with us already getting a bad rap as black men, as black fathers, the last thing I wanted my children to do was be afraid of me. Children could tell me anything. With what? With what words, Aaron? You could tell me anything you want as long as you say what?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
With all due respect.
No. With all due respect. With all due respect.
Oh, yeah.
Pops, I don't like this, or I don't like that. Or Pops, with all due respect, you know, let me know that you understand in the context or the way that you're coming at me, so that way we can hash things out. You can say anything to me. anything. They could tell
Wow,
me
that's
anything. And
beautiful.
so I wanted to be that person that, you know, would be able to understand them. I'm a therapist, for God's sake. I don't judge. I don't have time to try to figure out how upset I could be at someone when I'm always in problem solving mode. I'm always in
So
problem solving mode. It's
hold
what I
up
do
though.
for a living.
I'm gonna hit pause because you're a therapist now. You were not a therapist 10 years ago, you know,
I
when
beg
you
to
did
differ. I may
no,
I, I
no,
may have I may
in
have the
labor.
credentials. I may have the
Yeah.
credentials to do therapy now. But when you're living in your purpose and you look back on your life, all of the homeboys I talked out of doing foolish things, all of the time I rationalized things when nobody else was the voice of reason. I was a therapist then. I didn't have the credentials and I didn't
So you did
understand
not
my
have the
path.
credentials. You did not have the credentials. I'm just trying to point out your wisdom. And even though you grew up in a certain
This
kind
is
of
water,
way where
by the way.
people,
This is
I
ice
got
cold
you,
water.
where people don't necessarily respect that. People do not necessarily respect
Mhm.
somebody growing up in the streets and somebody who made the decisions that you made. They don't respect the thought process that this person may have a natural wisdom to themselves. And so I'm just trying to highlight, although you're a therapist now, you hadn't gone to school for therapy then. So there was something inside of you that caused you to operate in a certain kind of way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was.
What was
I
it?
guess it was.
Because you
I
saw a
guess it
lot
was
of
just my
violence.
gift. I guess.
You
Yeah,
saw a lot
yeah.
of violence.
I avoided more. I saw a lot, but I avoided more. And that's the flip side to the story. That's why I'm here. That's why, you know, and looking back on things, I didn't understand that would be why Dennis crazy. That's what my boy say. He been a therapist for a long time. I understand the journey back then. All I know is that at some point I was the voice of reason a lot of times. I was always tasked with um, ensuring that if there was something going wrong, that I got the homies to look at it this way, or I got, you know, my family members to look at it this way. And so as time has gone on, and that's why I said right now I'm living in my purpose. So when you start living in your purpose, you do see and understand what it means to ascend. You do. Peanut, you can come over here. You can cut your phone off. You come sit next to me. My
Aw,
bad.
look at you. Look at you. Okay. That is,
So
I just love you. I want to just kind of transition into a couple of things because Aaron is being really, really quiet.
he's
Aaron Jr.,
thoughtful. He's
you
very
being
thoughtful.
okay.
He gets that from me. Like he's a sponge. My God, he's the one. He is the one that will sit back and listen. Very respectful. They're all very respectful, but you know, as you know what, don't do that, bad girl, because you know what, your name ain't bad girl for nothing. That's my hood baby right there.
I'm just laughing
But
because
hey,
we
but you
all know
know,
how Aaron is.
yeah.
So Aaron,
He
you
be,
being
you
so
know, daddy this, you know, daddy that. You
He
gotta talk
always
to
keeping
daddy
them
like
on
this
point.
or that.
so Aaron Jr., tell us some advice here. What would you normally say you know daddy about?
Um, one thing I know, you better be on point at all times if we do something at all times. Because one thing about it, he's always a master planner. If he plans something, it's gonna be master planned out. And if stuff goes south, he got a plan B and he got a plan C. But if y'all not riding with it, he gonna give it to you. So basically, make sure all your P's and Q's in order. And basically, yeah, that's
Okay, be on your P's and Q's. Um, I'm
Don't
not
beat
going to tell your
yourself.
whole. I'm not going to tell your whole story, Aaron, because you are going to be up telling your story on an upcoming episode. But I just wanted to highlight this: you picked up some of your resilience from your dad, correct?
yes. A little bit of both because both of my parents are resilient, so it was basically a big bunch at once.
you know what? Maybe I should say you picked up your resiliency from your unit, you know, from your whole unit. Because as I understand it, you went through something significant. You don't have, I know you're going to tell the whole story, but just tell us a little bit about what that was.
Okay. When I was at the age of 15, the day before my birthday, I had a stroke. I was a 3-star athlete who played football. And I walked out the hospital in 10 days. And basically, it took me a year to get back all the way back on my feet. Played football, got to college, fell in love with acting. And now I don't even think about football at all. No sports for me. The biggest athletic thing that I do now is work out with my personal trainer and whatnot.
He's being modest. That kid almost died. He was not supposed to make it. He was 15 the day before his 16th birthday. He had what they call an emergency thrombectomy. He had a blood clot in his brain. They had to go in. They didn't even understand what was going on with him. Even right now, they still don't know why he had a stroke because it was so rare for it to happen. But you're talking about somebody who has a beautiful spirit, a beautiful attitude. Like, I can't do these kids a disservice. I can't do these kids a disservice and call myself going back to something that's going to take me out of their lives when I done worked so goddamn hard to get where I am now. You know, and look at all of us. Like, this is not a gimmick. This is not a joke. This is not like made for TV type of stuff. This is just a real family with the father that's been involved and you know, there's a lesson in everything we do. There's a lesson. When I leave here, we're gonna have so many things this world is gonna be blessed with so many other things through these 6 kids that they'll be able to talk about or to tell, or, you know, through their stories, you know, from the beginning to where it trickled down from watching someone change their life around. This is crazy. This ain't normal. You know, we already got to work harder than the average. And I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, but that's true. So you're talking about a black man who doors open for me, and people are upset that doors open for me because I put in the work. Get out of here. Pay me. And I don't mean monetarily. I mean respectfully, because that's what this is about. You know, people don't know what people have gone through or what people live through, you know, and there's not a person on this earth that I've come across and I've talked to them and given them a negative energy. I just don't do that. I don't do it at all.
So, Diamond,
I know I'm going hard, but I want my babies, man. Y'all chime in. I want to know from y'all perspective how y'all feel. What y'all thinking about?
I want to hear from Diamond. Diamond. I want to hear from you because you've stated that you are the oldest, and it seems to me you have a sweetness about you. Is that true?
Yes, I'm very sweet.
I can tell. It just comes through. You have seen everybody kind of come up behind you, and you've seen the most in between your dad and then the parents. Okay. What would you describe? What is the secret ingredient of this unit?
I would have to say humbleness.
Humility.
That's sweet.
Humility. That's how we move.
What'd you say?
Humility. She said humbleness.
Humbleness.
Yeah.
Yes, we're all very humble. One thing about us, we never folded. We didn't give up on each other. We all stayed as one. I mean, it was some hard times growing up without a father, of course. But one thing we didn't do, we didn't miss a meal. We didn't miss nothing. Only thing we was missing was our dad and that love. But we still had the love, but we was just missing his presence, should I say.
Okay. And how long exactly did you have to stay gone? How long was he gone?
Um,
It was a little over 3. It was a little under 3.5 years. I don't think
yeah.
the time to them. I don't think as kids growing up that they're able to kind of understand the concept of time, because I mean, when it comes to something like that, hell, that's something I could tell you about. It was long enough, but it was long, but it wasn't long enough for us to not stay bonded. We did everything systematically, and like I always told them, we have it's 8 of us. When I was with my wife, which is Diamond's mom and Ariana's mom, the baby right here. That we made sure that things were done decently and in order, because I always tell my kids, it's a lot of us, so we got to prepare, proper preparation. We got to make sure if you want things, we got to do it ahead of time, because I'm not the person I used to be when I was out here in the street. So give me a chance, give me an opportunity to to try to manifest what it is that you all want individually, because it ain't like I can just go break the bank wide open right now. So and that was part of the humility and coming home. And I'll tell you, one of the most significant times in my life was being able to help my daughter with math homework. It's funny. I had you remember when you had the algebra class and I was taking algebra I was taking algebra from her algebra teacher. Algebra teacher's wife.
Like the same?
Yeah, I had the wife, she had the husband. So I was in college with the wife, she was in high school with the husband.
In high school, yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe we can do it like this, because I know his style of teaching. I mean, I know her style of teaching. And so I would help her with her algebra homework, and she would get it right. That's those are moments that I'm proud of. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Don't let me. I want the kids to talk. Man. I love y'all, man. I love all of y'all, and they're always there. They're always supportive.
Okay, there's a question.
So 𝐊𝐍'𝐓, yeah. Why ain't mom praising this? Let me tell you something. Mom was praising this. Let me tell you something. In the first episode, was it 𝐊𝐍'𝐶? All of my kids' moms, I praise them. Right now, this is about the kids, and this is about our relationships. I'm no longer with my wife, and I'm not with any of the other kids' moms either. So, I definitely give them a shout out every time, every rip. They have played a part in this. None of my children's moms ever felt like they needed to run me through the gauntlet. They needed to, do things to me to be bitter. They are all beautiful Black women. They've all held me down no matter what. And I love them all for that. And I mean that. And they know that. We used to have things when I was at my house, and the moms would show up. They would have things at their mom's house, and we would show up. That's why we're a unit. That's why we're a unit. We don't play that. Like, ain't nothing coming in between me and my kids. And there's nothing that can happen that would make me feel like I shouldn't be a father to my kids. Like, that's just that, man. That's what it's about. Humility, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's unfortunate that, people who ain't ascending, or people who don't understand it, they can't speak on it. So I'm not mad at the haters. Oh, the moms had a big part in it. Yeah, the moms had a big part.
How many moms are there?
4. Yeah. There's Tina, that's my ex-wife who I was married to. We were together for 21 years. And then, so that's Diamond's. I'm trying to point to the computer. That's Diamond's mom and Ariana's mom. And then I have Tamala, that's my son Arron, that's his mom. And then I have Lakeisha, that's my daughter Ariel's mom. And then my son that's in the military, who isn't on yet, and Arron Whitt, their mom is Tijuana. And we don't play that when it comes to parenting. Like, we just don't do that. It's a big family all the way across the board. And it's humility involved, and it's driven by the things that we've taught each other as a unit, because my kids have taught me so many things as well. My kids have taught me so many things. There are times where, I felt like I was, challenged with wanting to be confrontational and say some things, but my kids would let me know, like, no, that will affect me too. That would impact me too. Especially my son. He's the person that really is the rhyme or reason person. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that he's very rational as well. He's very humble. He's very rational. And he'll be the first one to tell you like, nah, Pops, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Don't do that. That's not a good look. You know, man, life is good. I don't know, you know, like why right now, but life
hold
is
on, I want to
good.
highlight something. What I
Unmute
understand
yourself. Stay
is,
unmuted. Y'all good.
yeah.
Mezzy
No,
must be barking.
hold on 1 second, please.
No,
What I
it's water
understand
bottle.
is that you guys were parents first, regardless of what was going on behind the scenes, the scenes with you and the women that you were building a family with. You were parents first.
Yes, without that, absolutely.
And children, did you guys feel that?
Yep.
Okay. Well, speak on that for me. Tell me about that.
Oh, I ain't catch that.
I said what I understood, regardless of what was going on, that the adults were parents first. They built a unit. And I wanted, you know what? I wanted you guys to speak on that. Tell us about it. Because people, let me tell you something so that we are clear. There are children, moms and dads, who are growing up in the same household, and everybody is, you know, perfectly designed, so to speak. What, you know, the ideal. Everybody has the same mom and everybody has the same dad, and they still cannot get along. You guys grew up in a situation where there are different moms, there's different households, and your dad got pulled out of the situation for a period of time. Yet I do not sense animosity. I do not sense frustration. I do not sense like a spirit of negativity at all. And that is powerful, especially when there are so many people who feed off of negativity. And you guys don't have that. So you got to spit the wisdom out. You got to share with the people, you know, how you're doing this.
Can I talk? In my
Yes.
opinion, I feel like it's trust. It's just trust. Like, it's big on trust, for real. We trust one another, you feel me? Like, no matter if it's with our secrets or with our life, no matter what, we trust each other. And that plays a big part, too. Because trust is everything. You know, can't build no relationship without trust. And I think that's what played a big part, too, is that we all trust each other. You know.
That's beautiful.
I will say that before Dad left, he made sure that we all stayed together. Like, since he was gone, we wasn't, oh, little Ern can't come over to the house, or Ronnie can't come over to the house because Dad ain't here. He made sure that we all stayed together.
Yeah, the parents, they played a huge role. The moms specifically, because you know there wasn't any animosity between none of them. You know, like if one
T
needed
Dukes
another,
for
they would.
sure. Shout out to her.
Especially yes, my mom,
T
my
Dukes for
mom,
sure, for sure.
you can ask any one of them in here. You call her, you talk to her. She will have a conversation with you. It wasn't no, you know, you not my kids. She involved everybody, and that plays a big role. And as
Even when
well
my dad
as
was, you know, locked up, she still let us come over there, still did stuff for us and stuff. That's why she really like, that's not my stepmama, that's my mama. Like, it's all
Oh,
love for her, for sure, for sure. She played a huge part in it also. Cause if it wasn't for her, we all wouldn't have came together like we did when my dad did go to jail, honesty. So shout out to her for sure, for sure.
Ariel, take us. You might be muted, Ariel. We can't hear you, baby. Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
It don't say she muted.
no, I'm not muted. Ariel, just
No, I
speak.
said I'm talking about Ariel. We can't hear Ariel.
I don't know. She can log off and come back on.
Log off and come back on. I want to hear you. Yeah.
All right. So, Aaron, You picked some special women. You had some magnificent children. Can you tell me what's next, please? What's next for you?
Well, it's not more so what's next for me. I'll speak on that, but it's what's next for them. The time and effort that I put into what's next for me equals what's next for them, because what I wanted to do was, when I came home, I wanted to model. You know what I mean? I always tell a lot of my clients that relapse don't mean stay lapsed. And so what I mean by that is, if you mess up, that don't mean stay there. A lot of times people feel like if they messed up that they have to stay where they are, or you know, Tina said, thanks, boo. That's T Deuce. That's my ex-wife. She said that to Ranye. And you know, a lot of people feel like when they're lapsed, when they relapse, they got to stay lapsed. And so the formula behind all of this was to make sure that, you know, once I came home, if I've been through all of these adversities and I'm able to change my life and y'all could see it right before your eyes, then I want you to follow your dreams no matter what, no matter what. So what's next for me is, you know, I'm gonna get my doctorate, but before then I'm about to, you know, open my own, you know, therapy business. I should be having it going by the summer. You know, I just got tired of working for people. I got tired of working on the psych ward. I got tired of working in hospitals. And, you know, I just want to make sure that the craft, my craft, I'm able to share that with the world without any restrictions. And so when they see that, what's next for me is what's next for them. So if they see that, hey, dad don't stop, you know, and they know me, I keep going. Like we have no fear. And so that's the beautiful thing about it. It's whatever it is that I'm doing, it's for example, I keep them in mind. No matter if I'm out somewhere and it could potentially be harmful for me, you know, to engage in some negativity, I have them in mind. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do something to jeopardize, you know, everything that I've built, so that my kids' futures will be cut short, because I don't want them to ever feel like, you know, the things that I've done up until that point, I sabotaged it by doing some silly. And so that's where I'm at with this. You know, we're going to keep pushing forward. We're going to keep moving. And for my grandkids too, you know, baby Dier and baby Tristan, my other grandson that's in El Paso, you know, I love them all dearly. And that's what fuels me. That's what fuels me. You know, that's what makes me want to do the things that I'm doing. That's, you know, and not only that, I know that if God is with me and for us, who could be against us? Who could be against us?
Amen. Amen.
I pity you. Ariel, what were you trying to say, baby?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. So, like I was saying, even with me being as far as I am, all the way in Arizona from Illinois, my dad.
Mook, that's my best. That's my BFF. Mook, my bestie, my other bestie. What's up, Mook?
Together so tight to where it's kind of like, you know, whenever we needed each other, you know, we can count on each other. You know, even if he wasn't there and, you know, he's busy, you know, we all still had each other, you know, and, you know, he's done an amazing job with just making sure, you know, we have a game plan, you know, we have strategies, we have things to do, you know, we all have a group chats where we communicate every morning, you know, we make sure we send each other uplifting things just to keep each other motivated throughout the day, you know, because we all work a lot, you know, and, you know, he really like shows that he loves us so much, you know, and I wouldn't wish for a better dad than I already have. You know,
y'all are too kind.
He keeps it together.
That's beautiful.
He keeps it together. That's what I must say.
I love you, little mama. I love you so much.
I love you.
I love you, babe. Yeah. Shay, I love you, babe.
I love you too.
Ronnie, I love you so much.
Right with your big head in the camera.
Peanut butter. My little peanut butter.
All right. All right.
So, Junior, I love you too.
I'm actually feeling very.
Friend Dennis right there. Big Dennis.
I think it's a family full of best friends. I'm actually feeling very thankful, and my heart is filled with joy, and I appreciate that. I want to highlight something, Arron, because you are going to do another show, but it's really going to be about your skill set, right? It's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. So you know, I'll try to make sure you guys get the links, and Coach Love will do, you know, what she does to make sure. But you know, it's going to be based on Ask a Therapist, and you know, and we've been talking about building a brand, you know, and like I said, I hate gimmicks. I'm not a gimmicky type guy, but I do understand my purpose and my journey right now. And so, you know, there are so many people like me. There are so many people who've been thrown away, so many people who've been disregarded to, you know, they need therapy. You know, I just love the fact that, you know, it's a lane that hasn't really been tapped into yet because they need it. Hey, cousin, what's up, Nene? I love you too, baby. You know, it's a lane, it's a lane that, you know, you and I were talking, you know, you ran some things by me, you know, we were talking, I said I was gonna run it about my kids. We were talking about, you know, a brand, you know, Gangster Therapy. And, you know, it's like gangsters need love too. You know, there are a lot of people in the streets who throw people away, you know, and we can use all this mental health crap, you know, when it's beneficial to the powers that be. You know, but when it comes to the ones that are in the slums that don't get the love that they need, you know, they don't want to talk to somebody who ain't like me, who don't understand that. So I want to be that person that can really empathize with them, that can really let them know, because that's my purpose. That's what I'm here for. I was blessed to still be here, and I never felt like I would be here. And so right now, you know, when I used to do my music, I used to always say, "Thank you, Nat. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that." That's my girl Natalie. That's my boy, baby mama. Like it's just I'm excited. I'm excited. You know, I'm excited for what's going on, what's happening in my life right now. It's amazing. Like it's like you don't understand how amazing it is, and it's the work. It's all the times that I was out and I was like, God, why am I going to school? Who's going to hire me? I'm failing. I'm of this. And I had to change my perspective and start manifesting things like, you know what? I work harder than anybody because I have to. So you can't take that away from me. So am I supposed to let the fact that I had a felony define who I am when I could bust anybody's ass when it comes to working, when it comes to education, when it comes to knowing my craft? Like I'm dead ass when it comes to my craft. I'm being colloquial right now. I'm being, you know, who I am right now, but professionally, I know my craft and I work my ass off for it. So at this point, you know what? I'm so sick of Natalie. Stop, girl. At this point, you know, it's time to manifest it. When I went to the prison, to the federal prison system, and I was being polished, and I paid my debt to society, and I was in there being polished. God saw fit when I came out to put me in a slingshot and to give me enough grace and mercy to catapult me 10 years later to where now the things that he has for me, I'm able to manifest them because I stayed on course. I stayed on track. And it's beautiful watching them manifest. Like I said at one point, when I first came home, I used to cry because I didn't have enough money to take my son. I didn't have enough gas in my car to take my son to football practice. So how dare somebody tell me I'm still doing something that's illegal or that's not right? You know, I used to bust my ass and we used to be behind on our rent money because I was still connected if I wanted to be, and I could have called anybody in the world to get what I needed, but I didn't. I depended on God to put me in the situation that I'm in right now. I depended on him. I had faith enough to do that. And so for those who don't know and understand what that looks like, if you're watching, now you should know. Now you should know. Because when you do things decently in order and you line up and you do right by people, you do right, period, things manifest positively. And this is how it happens. And this is what it looks like. No, nothing was handed to me. Like, get out of here, man. And I won't let anybody hand nothing to me. My granddad, I live by a philosophy. He used to always tell me when I was younger, be an asset, not a liability. And I've taken that. If I can't be an asset, I'm not going to be a liability.
I love it. Now, I want to say, That wasn't what I was talking about, but I'm excited that you revealed it.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. We digressed a little bit, but
no, I mean it is fine.
This water is very good. So
good water, gangster therapy. There is more to talk about with that. So truly, more to come. But I'm gonna give you the bottom line of gangster therapy, and it is this. It is resilience, and don't let anybody steal your internal fire. Period. That's the bottom line of it, but there's a lot more growl where that comes from. What I was talking about is your insight to what goes on behind the closed doors of a psych ward, because that's what you have coming up next.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You forgot all about it.
Yeah. No, I didn't forget about it. No, it's the yeah. What's up, baby?
Oh, I gotta go pick up my little brother Corey from work. I just wanted to say bye. Yeah.
Thank you. It was a pleasure having you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye, girl.
I'll take you guys.
All right. Love you so much, babe. I'll see you soon. You know that.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I got to get a flight out there. I'm supposed to fly out there sometime this month. So, but yeah. So what we're going to talk about, because what happens is I get a lot of questions about mental health, especially when I'm in my neighborhood. Like if I'm in my neighborhood or I'm around other people who are in low socioeconomic status, they always tell me, well, I got this family member that's this, how do I get them help? And, what it is that I'm supposed to do to get them help. And, one of the first stepping stones to getting someone help is for them to be evaluated at the hospital. And that's where, we end up, they'll end up admitted if they're in need of some type of psychiatric help. But there's also a lot of red tape that goes with that. And there's also a lot of crap that goes on behind the scenes with that as well. And so I want to kind of just educate people on what that looks like and how it is. So if you have a loved one that may need some help and you just don't know what to do, I could kind of guide you through the process to let you know the steps you can take to get them help, and the questions that you should ask while they're there. The way that you could communicate with the nursing staff or the doctors or the therapists while you're there, because a lot of people just feel like once their loved one is there, and it's a locked unit. So anytime you go to seek mental health help at a hospital and they decide to admit you, you're going to be on a locked unit. And so a lot of people don't realize, like, I can't just leave if I want to. Some people may have an acute reaction to distress, and they may not really need to spend a lot of time on a psych ward. Maybe they had a situation where, something happened and, just right there at that moment, they felt helpless and hopeless, but a lot of times it's not for us to take their civil liberties from them and, and to make them be somewhere that they shouldn't be, especially if we're not helping more than we should, if we're hurting more than we should help. So that's what that segment is going to be about. But
all right. I think you hit the hard note. Civil liberties and how that affects your mental health. That's a big deal,
Yes, it is.
All right. All right, family. My young folks, do you have any parting words? Give me a one-liner. I'm going to solo you. Here, and when you see your face, say your one-liner. There you go. Okay, she left. I think she had a technical issue. It's okay. Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Diamond. Here you go.
Whoa. A one-liner. Let's see. So is this like for closing?
Yeah, in closing.
Okay. My one line would have to be, we got the best dad in the world. Don't nothing compare to him. Me and all my siblings are pretty close, amazing. I don't know. We have a good family. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really do this talking thing.
I got it. Here you go.
What happened?
Oh my goodness. You're giving your closing thought.
Oh my God.
You're giving your closing thought.
Yeah, your closing thought on everything as far as us as a family, as far as how do you feel about us as a family? Things in that sense.
These my peoples.
You know what?
I love them. Like, for real, like, we're a unit. Like,
There you go. There, you know what? We're
there's
not gonna
nothing. That's I can't really like say too much. There's nothing too much for me to say. You know, like.
That's fine. We're not
These
gonna
my
make it
peoples.
complicated. Here you go, Aaron Jr. Here you go.
Can't hear you. I can't hear you. Your
I said when we walk in, we always move as one, and that's all.
Ooh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Okay, Aaron. Aaron, take us home, please. No, we got baby girl right there. We got baby girl.
Yeah.
Okay, after baby girl. Peanut, go ahead.
One thing I could say is no matter what, we stay true with each other, no matter what we done been through, because, you know, it'd be a lot of arguments, it'd be a lot of fusses, a lot of fights. But at the end of the day, we're still a family, so we know we all we got. So that's basically it.
Oh,
Quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity. All right, brilliant baby. Okay, brilliant baby. Okay, now you're ready. Here you go, girlfriend.
When one of us go through something, we all go through something. No matter if it's mentally, physically, emotionally, none of that. We all go through something.
All right. Okay, now Aaron, take us home.
My son. He said he got caught up in and doing some extra duty because they got a lot going on with the military right now, and and a lot of those refugees and stuff. So they got him on guard. So he asked how much longer. I'm gonna tell him about like 5 minutes. So he's trying to get in, but if he can't, for one, I want to say shout out to my son Travis, who's in El Paso. Thank you for your service. You're an amazing young man. He's 23 years old. He's married. He has a son. He has another kid on the way. So, we just want to say congratulations to him for bringing another beautiful, for shedding another beautiful piece of light into our life. And for the closing, I just want to say we talked about being a unit and what a unit means a long time ago when I first came home, and it was very detrimental for me to teach them what that meant, because at the end of the day, if you don't have me, if I'm not here, if your mom's not here, y'all will have each other. And if you move in sync, if you move with the same synergy, and let me explain what that means. Let me explain what synergy is. See, you can have two people together, and you can have one with positive energy, one with negative energy. So it'll offset. So if you're around someone with a negative energy and you have a positive energy, you're both going nowhere fast. Because negative 10 plus positive 10 is 0. All right? That's not synergy. When you have two negative energies together, you're going to collide, and then things are going to blow up, and nothing is ever understood. But when you have two or more people together and they're all sharing the same energy, it combines and becomes synergy. And so nothing could break that. It's kind of like, if you grew up in the Thundercats area, or Voltron, when everybody, I'll form the body, I'll form the legs, I'll form the arms, I'll form the head, and they all become one. That's what we do. That's what synergy is. So you can't get away with trying to put negativity on me and think that it's going to work. You can't get away with putting negativity on any of my kids and think that it's going to work, because in the spirit we'll feel it. And as long as we got all of our armor on together, and as long as we understand whether we're there or not, that we're a unit, it's going to be hard to penetrate that. Love, trust, respect, integrity, and Arron, don't be ordinary and don't be extra. Be what?
Extraordinary.
Be extraordinary. Be extraordinary. Be extraordinary. So that's what it's about. That's what it's about. You know, the way to measure a man, you know, the way to measure a woman or a man is by how you can, by looking at the relationships that they have with those who are so close to them, that at some point the most valuable things in life are the most helpless. So as you grow up and you see your children and you start with them being as helpless as possible and you nurture them, you build that bond. So as a father, being there all of their lives, it shows every day. It shows every day how much of a bond we've had and we've built, because it didn't start out of thin air. It started from day one. So a unit we are for sure. A unit we are for sure. And anybody around it, and when it comes to each one teach one, anybody around any of that, they can't help but to get a positive vibe. Because if you're not giving us positive vibes back, we out of here. We out of here. We're not gonna stay and indulge, because we don't have to, because that ain't what we about. That is not what we learn. That's not what I like. That's not what I've taught my kids. That's, as a father, you're supposed to teach your kids things. You're supposed to niche pick. You're supposed to help them understand where it is that they can probably improve on, or some of the things that they already have strengths at, so that they'll learn to understand themselves. And by being a unit, that's exactly what we do.
That's beautiful. And I'm going to end it here and say, be extraordinary, loved ones. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate each and every one of you, and you just fill my heart. Uh-oh. We literally had to breaking news. We had to get on
breaking news. That my boy. What's going on, Beetle Bailey?
Travis.
Hey. Sorry, a lot of people said thank you. A lot of people said thank you for your service. So, oh my God, I just can't tell you how appreciative I am for you stopping what you were doing with the U.S. government, your mission, just to say hi to us. So we're closing out, but whatever you want to tell us real fast, go ahead.
I just want to say thank y'all for y'all support. You know, I'm I just want to say thank everyone. You know, God bless everyone. Just want to say thank you for the fathers that I have and the siblings that I have and the support that I have around me. I wouldn't be the young man I am today without everyone around me in my corner. You know, and I just want to thank you for giving my family the opportunity to come over here to also share some about themselves and their lives and what we all contributed to as a family. Sorry that I couldn't come a little earlier. Got tied up with work, but just
you kind of were serving your country, so we're good with that. We're good with that.
Well, I thank you for that. All
right. Well, listen.
I love you, boy. I love you so much, man. It's always good to see you. That's my young man right there, man. That's we
leaving for real now, y'all. We leaving for real.
All right.
Good night. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming and watching. I love you all. Thank you.
Thank you.